Tanvi Naik. You may begin whenever you are ready, Tanvi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you.
Okay, I'll begin. Across multiple galaxies in an infinite universe lies the only home we have, Earth. Ever since 4.5 billion years ago, it's been here. And throughout the centuries, it's been home to countless billions of humans, animals, and other living things. But in recent decades, we slowly started to take advantage. We've polluted our world, created an overwhelming amount of landfills, and inadvertently created the largest threat the planet faces today, climate change. And I believe it's because of the waste we've created and the economies we've built. I'll explain, but first let me introduce myself. Hello, my name is Tanvi Naik. I'm 14 years old and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. I want to thank the Global Youth Challenge, the organizers and judges for providing us all with a platform to share our thoughts on climate change, and my family for supporting me through this competition. Now, back to the explanation. I want you to think about your life and your daily routine. Have you considered where things go when you're done with them, once you've thrown them away? People forget once their things are tossed in the trash, but the reality is most of it ends up in landfills, taking hundreds of years to decompose, releasing harmful gases into the air we breathe. This is the result of a linear economy where we take, make, and waste. We take resources from the earth, make products, and waste these materials. And in the mining, manufacturing, and decomposing processes, this releases so much greenhouse gases. This linear economy is not sustainable. But there's hope. We need to change the way we live and move to an economy oriented around the environment. My proposed solution? A circular economy. It strives for a waste and emission-free world by following 3 measures. 1, eliminate greenhouse gases using renewable energy and green transportation. Number 2, circulate products and materials through incentivizing companies and implementing laws for more recycling and reusing of materials. And number 3, regenerate nature by returning materials to the earth through composting and anaerobic digestion, which is a form of bacterial decay. Also, we must slow our mining processes and find alternatives so our precious resources are saved. By following these 3 measures, we can protect biodiversity, reduce or even eliminate waste and greenhouse gases, all while benefiting the economy, as the circular model will drive job growth and stimulate the economy. Last week, I was reading the news and came across an interesting article. Scientists found that plastic in the ocean had become intertwined with rocks on a remote island. It reminded me of the fact that around 8 million tons of plastic end up in the oceans each year. So I'll explain how plastic water bottles are treated in the 2 economies. First, in the linear economy, it's made with extracted resources, which release more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. And at the end, this water bottle will sit in landfills in our oceans for more than 500 years, emitting harmful toxins. But in a circular economy, companies could design a bottle using biodegradable TPU polymer, eliminating greenhouse gases, and this new polymer can be melted now to make other products, such as shoe soles, which Adidas has been doing for years now. Everyone can help our linear economy slowly transform to a circular one. First, be mindful of what you buy and what you throw away and how it'll impact the environment. Next, invest in organizations and call for action from policymakers to consider creating laws. And finally, spread the word about climate change, these economies, and waste. 8 billion people call Earth home, and we need to work together to protect it. This means fighting climate change through reducing our waste in landfills and the atmosphere, along with slowly transitioning and evolving our linear economy to a circular one. Like I mentioned at the start, in a vast universe with millions upon millions of planets, we have only one home, one Earth. So let's save our planet together.
Thank you, Tanvi. For your first question, I call upon Professor Liette Vasseur.
First of all, thank you very much. It was a very good speech, and I really like the idea. We need to get back to circular economy. But my question is especially related to how can we move the current economy? Because we have a linear economy, as you said. How would you go to explain and try to convince not only citizens, but also the corporation, the large corporation that are, in fact, in big part, the one who are doing the linear economy, and these days, even making the products even less and less sustainable so that they don't last, so we have to change every few years. So how would you go at the industry?
So I believe the transition from a linear economy to a circular economy will be a very gradual transition. We won't wake up to say entire cities going circular at once. Rather, the change always starts with the people. We need to advocate for the circular economy through PR campaigns, and policymakers must make laws that penalize companies for excessive waste and reward companies which are sustainable. And in time, I do believe businesses will become transitioning to the circular economy after they realize their business model will not last for, say, 100 to 50 years because it's not sustainable. Like I said, the linear economy, the circular economy does come with some benefits, and it's predicted to stimulate the economy by trillions of dollars because companies will have to pay less for manufacturing and extracted resources in the long run when they are recycling. And an example, I recently heard that H&M, which is a clothing and jean company, announced that they were going circular by avoiding harmful chemicals, fossil fuel-based energy sources, and single-use packaging. Once companies have gone circular, next it might be like cities, like Amsterdam, which has committed to going 50% circular by 2030.
I like your answer. It's interesting at the same time, H&M, they at the same time push for fab fashions, which is a very short-lived. So it's always a bit of a challenge, I would say, but I really like your answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
And for your second question, Tanvi, Professor Howard Lin.
Hi, Tanvi. I really like your paper. It's like a scientific paper. You have a lot of citation. Evidently, you did research. So we talk about a circular economy. You mentioned a lot of examples in the city. Let's just talk about the countryside agriculture, because I just went to a pig farm in China. So I realized not just China, a lot of developing countries really pay attention now, increasingly, to circular agriculture. But my question, I come back to Canada. So I live here, right? I think you're from US, we're similar. Because we have for some, I have an answer, but I want to ask you opinion, comment. Why we do not exercise a lot of circular practice in North America compared to developing country? So we're not talking about the city. We understand the city situation, but the agriculture. Do you have an idea why in the agriculture, the developing country seems take the lead, do circular thing, but we're not so much into it?
Yeah, so sadly, I do believe it's because these economies, such as the US and Canada, do prioritize making money. But however, in recent years, we've moved away from that. We've opened discussions on climate change. So I think now there's going to be more action and more circular aspects of our economies since we've been having these discussions. And in agriculture, we could use biomass energy, which I've actually done some research on. I think agriculture is not a huge part of our economies. It is very more prevalent in these other small developing countries. And this is because we need to so the US and Canada are one of the biggest producers of waste. And I think we need to cut back on that first, as it is one of the biggest contributors to climate change.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both.